happening today. President Trump expected to make good on another campaign promise, set to announce that the U.S. will officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Griff Jenkins is live for us in Washington, D.C. Griff, the decision already sparking a lot of backlash.
Good morning, Heather. That's right. It is definitely making waves in the Middle East. But let me set the stage. Many presidents before him, going back to Bill Clinton and George Bush, made campaign promises like this one.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
But today at 1 p.m., President Trump will follow through on that promise, recognizing Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and directing the State Department to begin the process, which will take years, 3 to 4 years, of moving the U.S. Embassy there from Tel Aviv. And it is already causing backlash in Bethlehem. Flags with President Trump's image are burning as the U.S. consulate in Jerusalem issued a security warning on Twitter for U.S. citizens, directing them to avoid the Old City and the West Bank. The move clearly angering Palestinians who want Jerusalem as their capital as well. President Mahmoud Abbas warning in this statement, quote, such a move will have detrimental consequences on the peace process and the prospects for the internationally endorsed two-state solution. And allies in the region reacting with strong warnings that this may have serious consequences. Turkish President Erdogan saying the move is a red line.
Our struggle on this matter will continue with resolve. As a matter of fact, this can go as far as breaking off our diplomatic relations with Israel.
Now, anticipating the reaction for potential for violent protests, U.S. Marine fast teams are already deploying all over the Middle East. This as questions over the impact of such a move, upending decades of U.S. diplomacy, will await Vice President Pence's arrival in Jerusalem in less than 2 weeks, Heather. It is a big move, and we'll hear more today.
Yeah, it really is. So 1 p.m. today, of course, that will be covered here on Fox News. Griff, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
At one level, it's a city like any other. People sell, people buy, normal life. But Jerusalem's old city is special. And this is the best vantage point, here on the Mount of Olives. The Dome of the Rock in all its magnificence, a key holy site for Muslims. Behind it, if you know where to look, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, built on the site where many Christians believe Christ was crucified. And out of sight from this vantage point, the Western Wall, holy to Jews, supporting the mount where the temple once stood. It's not Jerusalem's significance that's in dispute, it's its status. After nearly 20 years divided by barbed wire, Israeli forces took control of the whole city, east and west, in 1967. The international community did not recognize what Israel called the unification of Jerusalem. Embassies stayed in Tel Aviv. And East Jerusalem was accepted by the international community as the capital of a future Palestinian state in a negotiated settlement between Israelis and Palestinians. This area is called Abu Tor, and it's a bit of a rarity in Jerusalem. That's because it's a mixed neighborhood. People who live on this part of the street identify as Palestinians.
Inside I am Palestinian, and I'm Muslim, and I'm proud about that.
I don't think it's a successful step to move the embassy, Hamis tells me, and it's not the right time to do it. But the Israelis and the Americans have other agendas that we can't change. A bit further down the road, and let's talk to some folks here.
I'm an Israeli woman. I live in Jerusalem. I love Jerusalem.
Palestinians say they want East Jerusalem to be part of their capital. What do you think about that?
I don't like to talk about this. I think Jerusalem is Israeli for Jewish.
What are your thoughts on the United States moving the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem?
Great. First of all, it's not going to be a Palestinian country, and it always was Israel.
Some Israelis who didn't want to be on camera told us they don't support moving the embassy. Whatever President Trump announces, the position of the vast majority of the international community remains clear. East Jerusalem is considered occupied territory. All settlements
To the Department of Justice now, preparing to hand over FBI agent Peter Strzok's anti-President Trump text messages as new details are unfolding about his role in the Clinton email and Russia investigations. And Todd Pyro joins us now with more on these developments this morning. Good morning, Todd.
Good morning, Heather. House Intel Committee Chair Devin Nunes demanded those text messages between FBI counterintelligence agent Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, an FBI lawyer with whom Strzok was romantically involved. Both were part of Robert Mueller's Russia team, but are no longer. House investigators have long regarded Strzok as a key figure in the chain of events from 2016 when the FBI received that infamous anti-Trump dossier and launched a counterintelligence investigation into Russian meddling in the election. Strzok also oversaw the FBI's interviews with ousted National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, who pleaded guilty Friday to lying to FBI investigators in the Russia probe. And it was Strzok who changed James Comey's draft language in the Hillary Clinton decision from grossly negligent, a phrase that carries possible criminal penalties, to extremely careless, a phrase with no real legal implications.
Peter Strzok's at the intersection of all of these players in all of these investigations. And it was so bad that Mueller fired him months ago, but has not cooperated with the House Intelligence Committee. They were not providing the documents. They were not going to make them, except for now that it's in the media, we're not going to make them available. Devin Nunes, Trey Gowdy have been trying to get at this for a long, long time.
Nunes has been assured those text messages will be turned over in the coming days. Also happening today before the House Intel Committee, more questioning of Donald Trump Jr., who's expected to be grilled on his family's financial dealings with Russia and that meeting he had with a Russian lawyer who promised information on Hillary Clinton during the 2016 campaign. Heather?
Yeah, and then on top of all this, we hear yesterday about this other Mueller deputy, this top prosecutor, who sent a message praising someone who refused to follow what President Trump was trying to get done
to Sally
in terms of the travel ban.
Yeah, and a lot of questions still unanswered throughout this entire investigation.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that later. Thank you so much, Todd. Appreciate it. Good to have you here.